All right, good morning, learners. I would like to welcome you to our math lesson, Senior 5. And I hope we are all well and fine. I don't know, as we keep waiting for our friends who are yet to come, we are going to do a little bit of the revision of the work that we did in our previous exam. Now, it came to my notes, actually, it were about I had about 59 learners who handed in their work, and I don't know what happened to the others. Some people claim that they had just joined the class, while others while others, I don't know what happened, but all right, I hope we are now there, all of us. So I was saying that a couple of us didn't really hand in our work, and I don't know what happened, but as I said, I had only 59 learners who handed in their work, and I'm very sure most of you did your work actually very well. Most of you were getting 70, around 60. Very few people were getting the 50s. I think I had one or two people with the 90 mark. But members, I'm encouraging you to please, we wouldn't like to misuse this time. I want us to try as much as we can to put this time to good use. Okay. Someone says it was a new topic to you, but meaning you didn't attend you didn't attend the classes throughout the last 4 weeks. So literally it becomes new to you. But I would like us to really, really try so much to practice out these numbers. I told you the issue with mathematics is to do with practice. Okay. If you do not practice out several numbers, then you will not surely know where you're wrong, or you will not be able to know what exactly to do. So I encourage you to please get those textbooks. Some of you were asking for textbooks. I gave you one of them. Now, really, there is no way you'll ask for one for the second book when you've not given the first book sometime. Okay, it's not a matter of having a lot of books with you. It's a matter of you have that one book, utilize it to the maximum, and then get on to another. I was sharing that Sadler book, the one of the one of pure math, and I told you there are several topics that are there, and the explanations that are there, and I'm very sure you can read on your own. Okay, in case there is something very small, then you try to go through it, and then you can be able to catch up. So I encourage you members, please, let's try as much as we can to practice. That is my plea. I want to thank some of you. Most of you have been contacting me, and then we've been working out numbers. A few of you have been doing so. I think about 7 learners that have been trying to contact me, and we've tried to work out numbers together. So literally, that is why we are here. That's why you have a teacher to interact with. So I request that just try to do that. Where you find a difficulty, make sure you, I know most of you are doing different combinations, but the math usually it's a key in most of our combinations, whether you're doing BCM or you're doing PEM or you're doing PCM. I'm sure all of you, huh? I'm sure all of you, you need that math. You need that math within you. So I encourage you members, please, let's try as much as we can to practice these numbers. And if we do, literally, we shall get very good grades for ourselves. Very good grades for ourselves. So as I said, my role is to try to help go through that work. I think even those people who claim that the topic was new, please take this time to maybe get something out of it. It's a summary of the entire topic. By the way, this is just a part of. There is something that I think that is supposed to be added on, but I want us to try to practice. That's my point. So we are going to work out these numbers together, and so how do we get the results? Emory, you didn't get your results? I believe everyone got his or her results. You will return. You go back to the Google Classroom. You will see the returned results. When you go back to that Google Classroom, you will see, unless you did submit. By the way, some of you, maybe if you had issues in submission, some people may have had issues in submission. But when you're submitting, please, you tap that part of turn in. If you don't tap turn in, be sure your work will not go in. Okay? So literally, you are supposed to use that part of turn in. So if you don't turn in, it means your work will not be received this side. So try as much as you can to, but still it's not too late. It's not too late. Still you can work out other numbers and then you send out, I can try to try to do that. Does Backhouse have the topic of AP? Yes, it does. Backhouse has those APs and then the GPs. They are there. All right. So I think let's try to work out. I hope I miss some of the questions here. Please, I request you to try to get those questions with you and then the work that you did, maybe the one on your paper, and then we can try to get through with it. Okay. Otherwise, those of you really who tried to work out, you did so well. It was impressive. It was impressive. Some people are saying they don't have their results. I don't know why, but in my system, I do not have any other person remaining who handed in the work and is still on my list. I think by this morning, when I checked through, all the 50, actually it is only Andrew. There's someone, Andrew, who submitted the work late. It's only Andrew's work which is still in the inbox right now. I don't know if it is the same one of you. I think there are two people claiming so, but I'm saying Andrew. Someone called Andrew. The work I'm saying it's there. But I'm sure the rest of you, it is there. The work was sent back to you. It's only Andrew whose work. Of course, it will even show me that this person handed in the work late. It will definitely show me that you handed in your work late. Okay, unless there is an issue I sent through WhatsApp. Now, members, I think I emphasized this when we were doing the exam. Please don't send the work through WhatsApp. When you send the work through WhatsApp, I do not have the application for marking that work. Okay? I don't have the application for marking through WhatsApp. So literally, when you send through WhatsApp, it literally means I may not be able to mark it today. You have to send it through the Google Classroom so that I may be able to look through. What are we doing today? We are doing the revision today. Maybe someone, I would allow someone to speak. Dan, it's Dan. Dan, speak to us.
So, how do you get a good classroom, eh? How do you get a good classroom?
You've just joined through?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Maybe I will illustrate that at the end of the lesson to be able to guide you through as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, I can do that at the end of the lesson. Okay. So let's get to our work here. I hope I can be able to view this. So this is the work that we did. I hope we are able to see all of us. This is the work that we did, and it was quite simple, members. Really, I did give complicated items just to make sure that we get there. But I think I don't know which. Can we start with the hard items? Then we keep on moving slowly. I think we can give with those that we can start with those that give us challenges. Yeah, we got big challenges, and then from there we can try to work through. Okay. Which number gave you the biggest challenge? By chose that we try to work through. We start with that. We start from the hard one up to the other, the simplest ones. Actually, others we may not even do it. Uh-huh. Okay. Wami had the number 8. Okay, I'm shocked that someone did number 8, had number 8 on their paper. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We are starting with number 7. Seems it's what he gave people harder time. Number 7. Any other? Okay, let's start with number 7 then. And remember, we are going to work through together. I want us to work through together. And we are going to keep sharing ideas here and there. Now, when we look at this, please, I want us to keep referring to our notes as we work out this. I want us to keep referring to our notes. Let me check out this. Let's check this. Okay. So this is our number. This is our number that we were supposed to work out. Okay. So we are here. And we are starting with the last number, which is number 7. I think people said to give them quite a time. Now, this is what we do have. The question is telling us, okay, we are being told, and please, it's important to analyze the question through before you directly attack it, okay? You try to analyze through, try to summarize the question in number form. Then from there, you will start working it out. Now, we are saying that the sum of the first 12 terms of the AP, what's more important here, we're looking at the first 12, it's an AP, and the sum is this. Hey, some people are not seeing my screen. Members, are we seeing the screen or it's only Cyrus? Could you confirm to me? I think the screen is fine. Through text, can you confirm to me if you're seeing the screen? Yeah, you're seeing it. Justin is seeing this. So, okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, thank you. So we are saying that the first, the sum of the first 12, you can summarize it by saying the sum is always illustrated as S12. This means that the sum of the first 12. okay, of the AP is 72, okay? And the eighth term, okay, and the eighth term is 4 times. So meaning this, the eighth term, okay, not the sum, but meaning that you can illustrate it as U8. U8 will mean that that is the eighth term, is equivalent to 4 times. So it is 4 times the sum of the fourth and the fifth term. So meaning we can say this is 4 times the fourth and the fifth term. This is our beginning point. Please, once you write this, you can easily know what you can be able to do. Now we are being told, find the first term. Remember, our first term is always illustrated as A, and the common difference, D, of the AP. This is the very first thing we need to first find. How do we find the very first term using what we do have here? Now, from our knowledge of sum, we know that when you're finding the sum of a number n, the sum n, it will be, can someone give us that formula there? I want someone to give us that formula there. If you want to find the sum of the nth term, I want us to work together. Yes, Laura? Laura? Laura. Yes, Laura. Hey. Laura is gone? Okay. Maybe she put up by her. Yes, Benjamin.
Sum is equal to
yes,
n over 2
Mike,
n out of 2
under brackets
in brackets.
a plus an.
Pardon?
A plus an.
A plus an.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of them. What's the other second one? The second one, we had 2 of them. We had 2. The one which had a difference. Can someone give me the other second one? Emerald.
The second one is Sn.
Yes, Sn is equal to?
Sn is equals to n over 2.
N over 2.
2a.
2a.
Into 2a plus n minus 1 in bracket.
Pardon? 2a.
Plus into bracket.
N minus 1.
D.
Into brackets D. This is it, eh?
Yes.
So, thank you, Emma. Now, remember, the point is now we have 2 formulas here. Okay, we have this and also we have this other one. Now we decide when do we use this one here and then when do we use the other one. Our question is asking for 2 things, the first term and a common difference. Meaning when we use this one here, we will not be able to, we need to get the first term and then the last term. Remember here, we don't know our last term. Our last term, we don't know it. And we cannot assume that the 8th is the last term, okay? So what we do in such a case, we are supposed to use the one which has the A, which is the first term, and then the D, which is the common difference, which we are looking for. That's what we are looking out for, okay? So literally, when we do a substitution here, okay? When we do a substitution here for this first part that they have given us, they say the sum, so meaning the sum of the first 12 is 75. So meaning sum n is 72 is equal to our n is the number which is 12, which is 12 out of 2. Okay, into brackets 2a, which we are looking for. We are looking for the a plus, because we know the first term, into brackets. Our n is 12 minus the 1 into the D. So this will give us our very first equation. So when you solve this one here, Gabriela, I have something to ask. Yes, Arinda. Okay, so we are saying that when you do have this, you can now first solve this one here. So this one, when you reduce this down, we shall get 6. So meaning we shall get 72 is equal to 6 into this will be 12A plus, remember this is 11, and which will be 66D. Okay, now when you reduce this one here, maybe you can reduce it down by 6, because 6 can go into 12 and can also go into this. And this is when we shall produce 12 is equal to 2A plus 11D. So this will be our first equation that we are coming up with. Please just get to know how we are coming up with this equation here. And we are saying we are coming up with this equation based on the formula for the sum of the 11D. This is what we are getting. Okay, so this is the first equation that we do have. Now, let's also look at this one here, the second one. Now, if you remember, if we look at this second one, we also need to find out for this second one here also, what shall be our U, what will be our U8. Now, when you look at, if you remember that when you look at the series in which the AP increases, we keep on adding with a common difference. For example, when you have your U4, the U4 is the same as A plus 3D. If you're to get your U5, U5 is the same as A plus 4D. Okay? Like that. So who will tell us, can someone tell us what U8 will be if you follow that series? If you follow that series, what will U8 be? Yes, Freeman. Freeman?
It will be, yeah, can hear you. It will be
yes.
A plus 7D.
Plus 7D. Thank you. Okay. So in so doing, you see that you keep on progressing. So meaning we need to substitute this in this one here, in this statement here that we have written here. What is our aim? Our aim is to find A and to find D. So remember, so we do the substitution here. Where there is U8, you put this one here. So this will be equivalent to A plus 7D is equivalent to 4 into U4 is A plus 3D plus A plus 4D. This is how we are generating now our second equation. Now, when you get this, when you do the when you combine like terms, bring like terms together, the D together, and then the A together, then you make A the subject. What do you get? If you make A the subject of this, the final equation, and when you get that, what do you get? Make A the subject of the formula, or even D, you can even make D the subject. What will D equal to? Okay, let's use A. What will A equal to if you make A the subject of the formula? Open the brackets, open your brackets, then you collect like terms. Anyone who has gotten? Okay, I'm waiting for the answer. As we are pardoning someone who is yet to understand the second equation. We said the second equation we are deriving it from here. Okay, we are deriving our second equation from here, where we are saying in the equation they said U8, the eighth term is equivalent to, which is 4 times the sum of the fourth and then the fifth. And we know that in our series, this is how our terms increase. Okay, U4 will be equivalent to A plus 3D. When the terms are, when you look at your series, when the series, in your series, how do you get your U4? You get the first term plus 3 times the other difference, and you keep on moving until you come to that. Yes, Joshua, you're giving us the answer?
Yeah, the answer
Yes.
A is equal to negative
negative
3D.
Negative 3D. Thank you, Emma. So that is how we have come to our A. Okay. Negative 3D. Please, you reduce it to the smallest term possible. Someone is saying equals to 21 out of 2D. When you reduce down, make sure you reduce your answer and you get it the smallest term possible. So this will be our second equation, our equation 2. Okay. Now, can we now utilize equation 2 and equation 1 to come up with our correct result? So how do you do that? Remember, we've got our A here. This is our A. Substitute this A into the first equation. So where there is A, you put negative 3D. So this will be equivalent to 12 will be equal to 2 into brackets minus 3D, okay, plus 11 plus 11D. So this will be equivalent to, what will be our D now? What will be our D? Please, I'm sure I wouldn't like us to see collecting like terms doing this, because this is now all about a bit of it. When you solve this, what will be your D? When you solve this time was this negative 6 plus 11D. Then you substitute, when you divide, what do you get as your D? Benjamin says it is 2.4. Do we all have that? Please confirm that answer, all of us. Do we all have 2.4? What is it in fractions? If you put it in fractions, okay, Laura has confirmed it, 2.4. In fractions, what will it be? So some of you give your answers in fractions while others give in decimals, which is very fine, okay? It is 12 out of the 5. It is okay to give your answer into fractions or to give your answer into the decimal points. It is also fine. Cyrus, check it is 12, not 22 out of 5. Cyrus, check it is 12, not 22 out of 5. So when you get your D, which they told us to get, we also go ahead and find out our what? Our A. Now that we have, you can either use this equation or you can even use this equation to get your D. Either way, you're supposed to come up with the same answer. Let's take a look at this one here. Let's use this one here. A will be equivalent to negative 3 times 2.4. Okay. And our A will be equivalent to, it will be negative. What answer will you get there? I hope you have your calculators nearest there. Negative. What will be your A now? Negative 3 times, or you can say negative 3 times 12 out of 5. You'll come up with the same answer, negative 7.2. And that's how you come up with your result. Okay, so you have your A written there, and also you have your D given as well. So therefore, based on that, we've been able to find out the first term, which is A, and also the common difference, which is D. So therefore, if we know our A and we know our D, okay, you can now utilize this formula here to come up with the sum of the first 20 terms. Let's work it out together. So if you are to find the sum of the first 20 terms, okay, so our sum, is it first 20? Find the sum of the first 20 terms. So the sum of the first 20 will be S20, which will be, please, the formula we are using is this one here, 2F plus N minus 1 into D. This is the formula we are using. So you do the substitution. You know your A is negative 7.2 and your D is 2.4. So just do the substitution here. So in so doing, the sum of the first 20 terms will be equivalent to N. N is this 20 here. Some people were lost where we get the 20, the n from. N is our 20. So we shall get 20 out of 2 into 2 times your a, which is negative 7.2, plus your n, which is 20 minus 1, into d, which d is 2.4. And then you get your S20 as what? I think that you can use a calculator directly to come up with your result. What will your sum of the first 20 terms be based on that? Fastest calculator. Please, another thing we need to look at, remember, your sum can never be a negative. Yeah? Your sum can never be a negative. I got some people getting their sum as just negative 30, negative what? Yeah? Usually, most cases it is a positive. There are totally rare cases where you get a negative. So your sum is 300 and what? 312. And that is how you would easily carry on that. I think unless someone has a question on this number here again, but bottom line, take note of what you need to use, either this or this. Any question about this again? So get to know, even those who have just joined, get to know that when they talk about, I think it was there's someone who was, who is this one? I'm forgetting. Who? Okay, I'm forgetting his name. Someone who had not said he had not studied at all. I think Freeman. So Freeman, I'm speaking to you because I remember you said you had not looked at this. So you're saying whenever they talk about the sum, okay? Whenever they talk about a sum in AP, okay, take note of this. Whenever they talk about a sum in AP, these are the two formulas that we have. And he said, if you don't know the last term, then you have to use this one here, because this one you don't need to know the last term. Okay? But if you know the last term, you can utilize this one, the first term and the last term, and then you get your sum. But if you do not know we don't know the last term, then we utilize this one here. So that's how we come to that. Okay. Joy, love it. You have something? Joy?
Okay, so my problem is in the types of, okay, like the brackets part of it. I don't know how to deal with those brackets, and perhaps it is also a new topic to me.
Yeah, so we have these brackets here. Now this D covers this one here, covers the n minus 1. Yeah? The D covers the n minus 1. So that's why you're saying n over 2, of course, if you get 10 over 2, you reduce this one to 10 into 2a plus, if this is 11d, so meaning the 10 will take on everything in this bracket here. That is what we are looking at. Yeah? That's how we solve these brackets here, as far as this is concerned. So when you're working out the D, we try to put, because if I leave out this bracket, someone might end up seeing, of course, whenever something is in bracket and there's something else, so usually a multiplication, okay? Automatically you're multiplying. So you may not, you automatically know you're going to carry on the multiplication. Okay. Benjamin?
Yeah, so I have a question. Can I set such a question in a GP form?
Can I set it in a GP form? Remember, if you remember, Benjamin, if you remember the series, how numbers flow in AP is not the same as the way they flow in GP. It's not the same. And also remember, in GP, we use the common ratio, while in AP, we use the difference. And these ones can never be looked out through. You can't combine the two.
Okay.
You cannot convert an AP question into a GP. Why? Because they are different. They have ratios, and ratios we are dividing. On the other side, we have differences. So in so doing, you cannot bring it up the other side. Okay. So class, let's look at the other one. The other number which gave you hard time. The other number, someone, Akim is like highlight on how the formula of U2 and U4 came about. Numbers, how U2 and U4, we are looking at the series, how the series keep flowing. If you remember in our introduction, that is where it all starts from. In our introduction, when numbers are flowing they keep on increasing. That's why we said, if you want to find out U1, okay, if it is U3, U3 will be A plus 2D. U2 will be A plus D, because U1 is equal to what? To A. So you just keep on adding on. So that's how we are developing our series. So U1 is A. U2 will be A plus D. U3 will be A plus 2D. Okay? Like that. That's how we generated that. So if you want to find out something in a series, that's how we came to U4 and also U5 and also U8. That's how we did it. All right, let's move on. Well, next number, the next number that had the issues. Someone is saying number 2. Another one is saying number 6. Should we do number 6? I think we can do number 6 first. Okay, let's do number 6 first, because that's where most people are looking at earlier on. So, number 6, let's share something here. So when you look at number 6, this is how it is. Let me copy it here. So please, we are still utilizing our same principles. We're utilizing our same principles that we've been using. You don't have to get stuck. As long as by the you have the formulas, it will be quite easy. Okay, so this is what we have. So we've been told the first term of the GP. We're now at the GP part of it. The first term of the GP. The first term of the GP in a series is this. So meaning our A is the first term, it's 120. I told you, please, when you summarize this, you easily know what you're going to do. Okay? It is it becomes quite very easy. Okay? Okay. So we have this. Then we are saying the sum to infinity of the series is 408. So meaning S, remember the infinity, we wrote it like this, is 400 and what? 480.
Please check in the chat.
Okay, noted. So so we are saying we have our sum here. Okay, we have our sum of the infinity is that. Now we are saying we want to show that our R is, I think it was 4 out of 3. So we show that our actually it was 3 out of 4. And so well, 3 out of 4. We need to show that R is equal to 3 out of the 4. Now remember, still we are looking at our formula. Remember we have this, and what is our formula for the sum of the infinity? Our formula for sum of infinity. Yes, Benjamin.
Its sum is equal to A over 1 minus R.
1 minus R. Thank you. Okay. So once we know these members, it becomes quite more easier. Okay. So we are saying this is our sum. The sum of the infinity is equivalent to A, 1 out of R. Do we have our R? Our common ratio, we don't have it. I think we've not been given. We assume it is not being given. Okay. So we are saying the infinity has been given. So we shall do the substitution here. We shall say 480 is equivalent to our A is the first term, which is 120 out of 1 minus R. Please don't put the 3 out of 4, though we already know, but we just need to prove. We need to be sure. Okay. We need to be sure that it is the one. So you solve this. So when you put this out of 1 and then equals multiply, we shall get 120 is equivalent to 480 minus 480 R. So meaning your R will be equivalent to, when you subtract, I think it will be 120 minus 480. I think it's this is a negative, sorry, negative 480 R, which is equivalent to that. Then you divide through by negative 480. Then you divide through by negative 480. Members, this is solving of equations. We are not going to dwell so much on them. We may not dwell so much on solving equations. Otherwise, we may take a lot of time. So can you find out this? When you subtract this, when you subtract 120 minus 480, 120 minus 480, get 360. Okay, so this is negative, negative 360 out of negative 480. I think when you reduce this down, you should be able to come to 3 out of 4. Okay, and this is the proof we wanted. We just needed you, of course, when you divide, you still come to 0.57. But please don't put it again in decimal places, because they have told you, prove that this is the fraction you need to get. So you need to show that when you divide this, okay, when we divide, carry on now this division, we end up with this 3 out of the 4. That's what we need to have in mind. Okay, and that's our proof. The proof is that. Okay, next. They're saying find to 2 decimal places the difference between the 50th and then the 60th. The difference between the 50th and then the 60th term. Now, still, I want us members to get to know. Remember, I gave you that pattern, and we are going to utilize that the pattern for the series of the series of a GP. So in a GP, we know that the series is A. This is the very first term. We have AR, then from AR squared, AR power 3, AR power 4, like that, and it keeps on moving. So this is what I need to, I want us also to have in mind. So where do you use R minus 1? When do we use R minus 1 in this? We said we use R minus 1 when? Who can give us that? I think I gave you that explanation. When do we use, someone is asking, when do we use this as R minus 1? Yes, Abby.
We use R minus 1 when R is greater than the value of 1.
When R is greater than 1, that's when we use that's when we use that. Okay, when the R is greater than 1, but usually the normal one, that is in case you've been given the R and then it is greater than that, that's when you utilize this at that point. Okay, yes, Laura, were you answering the same thing? Laura? No. Okay, so this is what I want us to have in a GP. That is how in an P, as I told you, in AP we have A, A plus D, okay, A plus 2D, A plus
Excuse me,
3.
sir.
Yes, please.
I think that R minus 1 only applies to the yes, it applies to the sum, but not to the sum to infinity.
Yes, it
I think
good.
this time, since the We don't consider the R minus 1 over whether it is R greater than 1. We just consider that formula.
Okay, Laura, yes. So
If
someone
they
is.
do not say
okay.
Infinity, they are not specific. That's when we would.
Okay, we kind of lost you, but the point is this comes to the sum of infinity. We use these ones when we are using the sum of infinity. That's when they come in. Okay, so I was putting up a point that please let's take note of these the way these numbers flow. Okay, it can easily help us solve some issues. Like for example, now here they have told us to find the difference between the fifth term. For example, this is first, second, third, fourth, okay, fifth. So meaning the sixth will be AR power 5. This is what we have. Okay. I want us to have that bit of knowledge within us. So meaning here, what they are giving us is we are having the difference as AR power 4 minus AR power 5. This is what we have. So because they are asking for the what? For the difference. So meaning we are looking at the difference between these two numbers. That's what we have. So we have AR power 4 minus AR power 5. Remember, we know our R. We've already found our R. Okay. Our R is 3 out of 4. Our A, which is the very first term, is 100 and what? 120. We already have this. Of course, I know some people will use the other longer method of finding AN, then you A5, then you put the other substitution, then you come and get you also come and get a what? F4, then you put the substitution, the formula for finding F4 and then F5. You can also utilize that formula. But here we are now looking at, we are finding the shortest means. So in so doing, you're going to have, in so doing, no. So in so doing, you're going to realize that you are going to have just to substitute here and then you subtract. So you have your A as 120 into brackets, your R are 3 out of 4 power 4 minus A, which is also still 120 into brackets 3 out of 4 into brackets power 5. You can now solve this with your calculator. I can solve this with our calculators. When you solve that with your calculator, when you get 120 into 3 out of 5 out of 4 power 4, what would you get? What would the answer be there? I'm waiting for the answer. No, I want to solve this separately. When you get this one here, what answer do we get? 120 into 3 out of 4 power 3 out of 4 power 4. What will you get here? This is, you can, those of you who have, this is the Cyrus says it's 37.96. That's 7.97. Okay, that's 7.97 minus, what will the other one be? So those of you who have issues here, you can say 3 power 4 out of 4 power 4. Put them into powers, then divide and then subtract. Then this is 28.47. And you'll end up coming up with it 9.49. But remember, they said 2 decimal places. That's why we are stopping to 2 decimal places. I don't know, but this is how we are quickly and working out this given work. So in so doing, thereafter, we also need to have to calculate we also have to calculate the 7th term. Sorry, the sum of the first 7 terms. The sum of the very first 7 terms. Members, I hope this one is clear. I need to, in case someone has an issue. Yes, Joshua? Joshua?
Yes, please.
Your hand is up. You have something?
120 into 3 over 4 to the power 5 is 28.48, not 47. If you round off to 2.
Okay.
Yes.
48, eh? Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Any other person who, in case you have any issue? Any other person who has something? If you have something to say, but we need to clarify this so that we get on the same page. I said, I know you can also use the other method of finding the AN. Yeah? You can also use that method. Then you get the answers and then you subtract. But literally, this is quicker. This minus that will be, it's clear. Okay, thank you. Now we proceed with the part, I think it's part, the other side, third part, part C. Part C says we find the sum of the first 7 terms. And can someone give us what will be sum n? What's the formula? No. Remember, we are using GP. In GP, we don't need the D. Someone with IT. In GP, we are dealing with R. In AP is when we deal with D. Take note of these 2 things. Okay. Okay. Itungo.
Yes, sir.
What's the formula for the sum?
The sum, it will be S7.
Pardon? No, the formula. First, give us the formula.
The formula will be A into 1 minus R power N, close brackets.
1 minus R power N.
Then the over. The whole is over 1 minus R.
1 minus R. Thank you. So, this is the formula. Emmanuel, can you do the substitution? Emmanuel Tukamshaba?
Yes,
let's do the substitution.
For A.
S.
For A we have 120.
We start with S. S7 is equal to A is what?
A is 120.
Is 120 into
R, which is 3 over 4.
3 over 4.
Then minus 1.
What is N?
N is triple N. N is 7, I think.
N is 7, eh?
Yeah. Minus 1.
Hey, now hold on. Which one did we? Someone gave us this. But there is something we missed out. Eh? There is this S A into
Rn.
Rn minus 1. Eh?
Yeah.
Out of
R minus
R
1.
minus 1. Why we are using this? Please, we take note of the other bit of it. Okay. So we shall have.
Our R is 3 over 4, then minus 1.
S7 is equal to this A is 120 into
3 over 4.
3 over 4.
Or 7.
Or 7 minus 1, like this.
Yeah.
Out of
7 minus 1. Or 3 over 4 minus 1.
3 over 4 minus 1.
Then we calculate.
Then we calculate that. Okay, so this is what we need to, this is what we have. So meaning we are finding our sum of the first 70 terms. Okay, when you calculate that, what shall we come to? What shall we come to?
Let me see. Let me see. Still calculating. 3/4 power 7. Then minus 1.
There is something here. Benjamin has raised something here. Yes, Benjamin?
But sir, R seems to be less than 1.
It's less than 1. Therefore, it's supposed to be S7 is equal to
120.
120 into
1
minus
3/4.
3/4 into
the brackets power 7.
Out
then
of,
out 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4
minus 1.
3 out of 4, 1 minus 3 out of 4.
No. 1 minus
1 minus
3 out of 4.
So here we shall have 1 minus 3 out of 4. Okay. Please, let's take note of this, of our R, whether it is to be sure whether it is less than 1 or greater than 1. Please, it's key. It's very important that we take note of that before. So it is our R which is determining what we are using. This is 0.75. Okay. That's what we are looking at. So what will our result be? What result shall we get? Sum of the first 7 terms. I'm waiting for the answer. This is it. S7 is equal to 415.93. Okay, 0.93. That's what we do have. Okay, so this is how we do work out that. Now, finally, D, because our time is fast spent. Our time is fast spent. Now, finally, the D, our last one, our last answer. Let me last question, the part D of that question. Okay, this part D of the question. They are saying the sum of the first n terms, okay, of the series is greater than 30. We are supposed to find out. We are supposed to get the sum of the first n term. We are supposed to find the possible values actually. Okay. Actually, it was a bit incomplete here. Let me check this. I think we left out. Actually, it is this one here. So we are being told that I think this is what we have. Okay. So if we do have our D, okay, we are being told that so we are saying the sum of the first n terms of the series is greater than 300. So we are being told to calculate the smallest possible value. Okay, the smallest possible value of n. Now, here to solve this, we utilize the formula for the sum of n terms. And we know that the sum of n terms will be A into R, now n minus 1. Now, this one, you may use the other one of Rn minus 1 or because we do not know the R, out of R minus 1. But remember, they have told us that this sum that you get is greater than 300. So what you're supposed to solve, but you remember that we have our A, okay? We have our A, we have our R, but remember our R is greater than, it's less than 1. So meaning we are going to use A into 1 minus Rn out of 1 minus R. This is what you're going to use. But remember, whatever you are getting out is greater than what? Greater than 300. So what you're supposed to solve is, this will be equivalent to 120 into 1 minus the R is 3 out of 4 into n. We don't know the n, the first n terms. And this is out of 1 minus our R, which is 3 out of what? 3 out of 4. But you are saying it is greater than what? 300. So this is what you are supposed to solve. Okay. So when you solve out this, of course, you're going to divide this, cross out and everything. At the end of it all, or maybe you can start by multiplying this by this lower value here by 1 minus 3 out of 4. Then you cross out this, then this one also times 1 minus 3 out of 4. So when you do this, you should be able to get your n should be less. The formula at one point, actually, because of time, because I'm doing this because I'm rushing through because of time. But at some point, we are going to get what we call the log, the n log, n log of 3 out of 4, which is supposed to be less than log of 0.3 something out of log of 3 out of 4. So after dividing, of course, after dividing. So your n should be a value which is less than, I want you to prove out this, but you start from this point here. I know you can solve this. Start from this point here. I know you can move through, but the starting point is this. Knowing that you are solving this equation with that, but your n should be a value, the possible value, the smallest value should be a value which is less than 3.4. That is the smallest value. Okay. I have my answer 3. You can use the 3.4. You can even, some people are using 3 as a 3.4 like that, but at the end of it all, it should be a less than value. N, the smallest value should be a value which is that. Okay. Members, the rest, I think the rest of the question, I think it is actually the other ones were quite more easier. Were a little bit more easier to work out. Okay. All right. Now, when you check through from number 1 here, the others we just use the formula directly. Others we are supposed to use the formula directly. Okay, the formulas of the sum, and then the formulas of the sum, and then the formulas of the AP, and then the formulas of the GP. We're just supposed to utilize them. So I want us to maybe try to utilize, especially 1, 2, 3, I think up to 5. The rest are, most of them are direct in so doing. So members, I know we definitely have a lot that we can discuss through, but please, know this, especially those with issues with notes and everything. But if you have the notes, please try to go through. Okay. Okay, some idea on, members, our time is fast spent. Some idea on for the sum of the first 10 terms of the AP is that, and then the sum of the first 20. Now here you're supposed to form 2 equations, subtract the 2 equations, and then you're supposed to be able to get the D and then the first terms. Here you get 2 equations. The sum of the first 10 terms, maybe just quick. Okay. We are saying the sum, you get the sum of the first 20, the sum of the first 20, the first 10 of the AP is 1, the first 10 is 120. Then we are saying the sum of the first 20 is 840. Okay. First 20 is 840. So you utilize the formula. Okay. Utilize the formula for sum of n for the AP. Okay. When you get the 2 for this one, you put the formula here and also the formula here. So you subtract the 2 formulas, and then you'll be able to get your A and then the D through this. You get the 2 and then you subtract. Okay. That's how you'll be able to get there. Okay, so class, our time is really fast spent, and unless there's something which is burning that I need to discuss through. Yes, Freeman.
Like, so if possible, you can share your contact. Like when we want to inbox you to ask more about the series, we can inbox you.
Okay, but I shared my number last time. Every time I have to share my number.
So for today, I don't have it.
For today, but last time you had it. Huh?
No.
Okay, I've shared it. I've shared it. Okay, I've shared the number there. Okay, yes, Cyrus. Cyrus.
I'm just inquiring when we should.
Okay, now members, I think we've been okay. Those who would like to communicate to me, that is, let me send the number there. Okay, I've sent the number there for those who would like to communicate as soon as now. Now, please, the next thing we are going to, in case as we are continuing, we need to be aware that I'll be mixing up the bit of the paper 1 and paper 2. Actually, as someone said at some point. So I'll have topics in paper 1 and then some topics in paper 2. So because we have only one session, the best thing is just to keep switching. Now, usually the faster we move, then the more the topics that are covered through. But for now, what we'll do after this, the next thing I'll be able to cover just a topic in paper 2. Then next we'll keep on moving the topic in paper 1 like that. Keep on switching. It will be the better thing to do. We'll keep on switching from one topic to another. But meanwhile, members, I think we could really have still more knowledge, and then we'll keep on reading ahead. I don't know if I can share something here for the topic. Someone was asking which topics are we covering next. Okay, possibly I'll maybe share that about the topics that we are covering next. Okay, I do not have it, I think, for now. Okay, so I think if all goes well, then we should be able to carry on this. I think let me share with you. Let me share with you in the inbox there. That is what I look forward to. Okay? That is what I'll look forward to. Okay? To look out. So in the case of anything, those topics are mixed up. Permutations, combinations, binomial theory, that is paper 1, trigonometry paper 1. Then the bit of the vectors, distance, and everything, those are paper 2. I think that will be a fair deal for us for now. Okay, I want to wish you well. Please, those who want to communicate, please, you can do so. I'll be available to maybe help out somewhere, somehow. Okay, I want to wish you a good week ahead as you progress in everything, but I request keep on practicing, then we shall get the best out of what we need. Okay, have a good day.